Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Well, my name's Richard, welcome to Bankrupt Pensioner, and now for something completely different. The new BMW R1300GS, absolutely magnificent machine, way out of my budget. Way out of many people's budget, I'm assuming. But I'm having a look at Halliwell Jones in Chester, who are offering a finance PCP deal. And I wanted to walk through this with you based on their 4,000 miles a year over a 4-year plan. And I just want to I want everybody to understand that what I call the total cost of ownership. And that's the whole cost over the time period and how much it's going to cost you over that 4 years. So I'm going to be sharing my screen and we're going to be having a look at this. And I want to know if this is of use to you, and would you like me to do another example on another bike? I'm also thinking about the Suzuki GSX S1000 GT. That might be the next example, but it gives you a flavour of how much is it going to cost, £200 a month, let's just say, and what deposit is it, and what does it really cost over year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4. The real cost, yeah? So if you're budgeting let's say, I don't know, £5,000, and then over a 4-year period when you've sat down and calculated it, like I'm going to show you, can you really afford this? Or is it going to be a case where it's going to be sat in the garage and become a garage queen until the term of the PCP agreement has expired and you hand it back? Yeah, so let's start sharing my screen. So here we can see Halliwell Jones of Chester with the BMW R1300GS, the brand new bike. This bike is phenomenal. I will never be able to afford or handle one of these bikes because it's just too big for me. But it's one of the latest bikes, and let's have a look at it. So on their website, which is clearly shown here, halliwelljones.co.uk, we can see as we roll down and scroll down, this is the finance model for a PCP agreement for this particular motorcycle. Of course, the bike will be brand new, and let's go from the top. So you're going to be paying £205 a month over 48 months. That's 4 years. You're going to lay a deposit of £1,600, which is exactly what you're going to lay. If you're going to lay a deposit of £4,000 or £5,000, it probably isn't worth it. If you're going to lay a deposit of £4,000 or £5,000, then you may as well go hire purchase and pay the remaining debt off 4 to 6 years or something like that. So the total cash price, and this is relevant, if you went and bought it cash, it would be £16,000. Now this GS is the base model. It really is the base model, okay? If you start adding the pannier and all the other good sexy stuff, it's going to keep on going up and up and up. And that's normal. That's okay. I'm not disputing the price of the bike. Yes, I'm not disputing the price of the bike. So you're going to take over debt. You're going to take a debt minus the £1,600 deposit of £14,400. You're going to be paying interest at 8.9%. And to be fair, I suppose that's fair enough. I know Suzuki are doing 2.9% at this moment in time, but we'll have a look at that on the GSX S1000 GT on another example. You've agreed over a 4-year period that you'll do no more than 16,000 miles. So that's 4,000 miles per annum. So if you're going to get this bike, you're going to go to Europe once a year over 4 years. So that's 4 times in Europe. and that's going to be at least 2,000 miles. So bear that in mind. So the difference of £2,000 a year, 2,000 miles a year, you should also consider that of driving around in the Lake District or up to Scotland or going to Tesco and all that good stuff. There is an excess charge of 11 pence per mile if you go over the 16,000 over the 4-year period, but we're not going to be looking at that. So now we're going to, so we've got the basics of this, but let's have a look at the real cost of owning this over 4 years. So I've created a bit of a spreadsheet. Let's flick over to that. So here are the items, and we're going to go through those in a minute. And here are the costs per month or per year, and the total over 4 years for each of the items. Now, some of them, like the MOT, which is at year 3, you can't put that over months or years. So it's just a standard fee at the end of £50. So let's go through this section and understand what we're talking about to ultimately get the total cost of ownership. CO stands for cost of ownership of £19,000. Let's start from the top. Your PC monthly payments are £205.65. Per year, that works out at £2,467, with a total over the 4 years of £9,871. You laid a deposit of £1,600. The road tax currently today for this bike will be £116 per year, totalling over 4 years £464. Your insurance, and I'm assuming this is about right, your insurance is going to be £500 a year or £41 per month. And over the 4-year period, we're going to say that's £2,000. The services your bike needs, which will be performed at BMW, are 4 services, let's say, at £500 each, which is £2,000 over the 4 years. You'll need a fresh set of tyres. I'm being very conservative here. So only 1 set of tyres over 16,000 miles. That's going to cost £400. These figures are not meant to be truly accurate. Yeah, it just gives you a flavour. Fuel, based at £1.50 a litre, because you'll end up putting E5 in it. You'll not put E10 in it. You'll want proper fuel. So let's base it at £1.50 a litre. And let's assume, and this is a fair assumption, that your average miles per gallon is going to be 40 miles per gallon. So per month, your fuel's going to cost £56. That's on 12 months riding, which works out at £682 a year. That's £2,730 over the 4-year period. We're going to have 1 MOT of £50. That's at the end of year 3 to take it from year 3 to year 4. The total cost, therefore, is and remember, the brand new bike costs £16,000. The total cost for 4 years, but this does include 16,000 miles, is £19,115. So that means that the PCP, if we take that 19,000, this is the total cost, the real cost of ownership, not the monthly cost of 205 and the deposit of £1,600. This is the real world cost. So it's 19,115 for the 4 years, which works out as a cost. Oh, that's not right. Let's have a look at that. No. Let's have a look at that. Hang on. Cost per year. So the cost per year for the PCP agreement only is 2,867. So there's a big difference here. And the PCP agreement over the 4 years is 11,471. That's the total. Now we're going to come down. Well, if we take all the other stuff, everything into account, your total cost per year will be £4,778. Your cost per month, let's change that, oops, works out at £398 or £400. So that really, this number is twice as much as your monthly expected payment over the 4 years, taking into account everything else. So when you take a PCP agreement out, always assume that the running costs are going to be double that number. This means that the cost per mile, including everything, over the 16,000 miles over the 4 years, is going to be £1.19 per mile, which means per gallon, which it does 40 miles per gallon, each gallon you burn, each 40 miles you ride, will cost you £47.79. Let's assume you fill up your petrol tank on the BMW for, and that's 3 gallons that you're going to be putting in because you don't run it dry. You're going to be putting in 3 gallons, which is something like 9 litres. 9 plus 4 is 13.5 litres. So when you fill up 3 gallons of UK fuel at £1.50, the cost to burn that fuel actually equates to £143, taking into account the total cost of ownership of everything up here. So every time you put 3 gallons of fuel in, let's say a gallon of fuel is £7, so that's £21. When you've put £21 in to your petrol tank, it's not really £21, it's £143. So always consider this. The cost that you're taking out on your PCP is actually doubled over the period that that you're having the PCP agreement with. Excuse me. Did you find this useful? Is this a waste of time, me doing this? Please comment below. I love numbers, and obviously I've made a screw up here and there on this particular spreadsheet. I'm not trying to put anyone off buying the BMW R1300GS, which is a magnificent machine. What I'm trying to do is make sure that you understand the total cost of ownership when you take a PCP agreement out over 4 years, over 16,000 miles, of how much it will really cost you at the end of the 4 years. Remember, you won't get the £1,600 deposit back because there will be some little speck of paint missing on the petrol tank or on the frame or on one of the cylinders. Yeah, there'll be so it will have to be absolutely perfect when you hand it back. So the £1,600 deposit you will lose. Ultimately, what they'll try to do is persuade you into the next PCP agreement with that £1,600 deposit and move it forward. But you will lose that, and that's okay. That's okay. I'm making you aware of how this works. If you found this useful, comment below, like the video, subscribe. Do you want me to do this on any other model, any other manufacturer? Are they doing PCP agreements? And I can then take this further forward for you. Yes? If not, tell me so in the comments. Am I going the right direction on this? Do you find this useful? If not, tell me so in the comments. I find it incredibly fascinating. I love numbers. You know, I'm just trying to help you out here. Don't forget to subscribe. Please like. Please send me £1 million if you're a philanthropist. And I'll see you very soon. Have a great day. Ride safely. Shiny side up. And be good to each other. Be kind. It's nearly Christmas. It's now December 2023. Merry Christmas. See you soon. Bye-bye.